Where they said Bum B and everybody, they watching to see what them Texans gonna do.
What you mean the Texans? Nigga, the Texans already did what they gonna do. They done for the night. They ain't got another motherfucking pick.
Congratulate the whole team, cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no hiding this.
Spread between 4th and 6th Streets in downtown Minneapolis. We welcome you inside spacious U.S. Bank Stadium. Today, it's the penultimate week of the regular season, week 16, and we've got a good one in store between the Houston Texans and the Minnesota Vikings. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in week 16. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The drive starts with a carry by Dillon. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. Well, this defense for the Texans, they were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
From the 22, Rodgers finding his target. It's Trey McBride. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Now swing pass for Dillon. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at the 45. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it. It really gets them amped up as they go forward.
1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Rodgers going to give this one to Dillon. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. The Vikings hit 10-4 on the year. They come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And the way they played last week defensively, when I watched the tape, I had to stop it a couple of times and count to make sure there were just 11 guys on their side of the field because they covered every angle and thoroughly shut down the other side. Hold them just 7 points total. They do that again, that'll get the job done one more time in a big way.
And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. Got a man, it's McBride complete. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 35. 15 yards there on the catch and run. Well, they clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressiveness. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease. Feels good about what he's doing. I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that. I'm continuing to let him throw the football.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. On play action, now Rodgers rolling to his right, to the right side, and he's got more complete. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
But one of the things we talked about coming into this one is that we were never going to question the fight that he's going to have from all 4 quarters of the game. But ideally, you want him fighting for big plays and first downs early, not fighting just to get back to the line of scrimmage, as we saw right there.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Nick Bosa in there for sack number 22 on the year. And, folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22.5 set in 2001. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Here we go. 11. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. And Charles, you think about this offense, it's kind of a tricky time of the season because you're 14-0, looking to see this one out to the end, but you start to run into situations where guys are getting a little banged up. Maybe could use some time sharing, some time on the bench just to rest. How do you approach the rest of this regular season?
I'm telling you, you don't ask the easy stuff, do you? I mean, you created a heck of a situation there, and actually you didn't create it. You presented it, and you're exactly right. It is tricky because your eye has to be on the ultimate prize, which is the Super Bowl. That's paramount. But at the same time, how much fun would it be to go down as one of the all-time great teams and join the 1972 Dolphins as the only undefeated team to win a Super Bowl?
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation we were talking about with one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly, it's a big man's game. And it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Now, I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Knox, and he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Up the middle they go. Knox, and the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there. Of course you're going to give it to him.
They'll run on first down. Knox. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Back at the 5-yard line now, second and goal. Now a handoff up the middle. Knox. Call it no gain that time, and now it's third and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Big play coming here. It's third and goal. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Shaquille Leonard in there for the sack on what will be the final play of this first quarter. No score after one on EA Sports. And the first play will be a field goal try from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Gano's kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. This one a little slow to get cooking. Just a 3-0 scoreline as they begin with a 1st and 10. They'll begin the drive with a run by Dillon. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up. Found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there with the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Pass complete to Jalen Tolbert.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Dillon now off the option. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. Brought down on the play by the linebacker, Christian Harris.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Texans will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Yetur Gross-Matos getting in there to make the play. Well, on that one, they go with a play fake, CD, but I don't think anybody really was fooled. All eyes were fixated on the quarterback, and they got him to the ground.
And to run this play successfully, you've got to make sure that everyone is doing their part. You actually have to sell this play. You've got to sell the run action. Otherwise, why do you stop with the running back? You just run straight for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at third down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Here's Burrow. Throw left side, taken in by Pittman. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Burrow on play action. He'll let this go for the end zone. And it's intercepted. And the Vikings will take over here just shy of the 30. So the interception there. And Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football, because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified.
Dillon now on 1st and 10. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Jordan Brooks on the tackle. He can rack up those tackles in bunches in the run game from that middle linebacker spot.
And what he has to do is make sure he congratulates the guys in front and tells them thanks a lot, because as the guy in the middle, the Mike linebacker, you're counting on your front three, your front four, front five, whatever you've got in front of you to take up all the blocking, allow you to roam and hit, and that's what he did on that play.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Rodgers. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down. Rodgers now to throw. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Jalen Petrie picks it off, and the Texans are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line.
So rare to see any quarterback toss back-to-back interceptions in the NFL, regardless of status or experience. Whether it's him personally or just the offensive game plan, I think this defense is reading something out there, and they're holding the upper hand.
Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. He's going to go up top again. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. And the Vikings are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess that allows for extra yardage on the return.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. And the tight end goes in motion left. Now on 2nd and 13. Rodgers. He dumps this off to Dillon underneath. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
12 yards on the play. Leads to 3rd down and 20.
Second quarter. 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime report.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wisnowski to punt this one away. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Well, it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down.
Here we go.
Now Burrow. That is caught by Lamb. Touchdown, Texans. CeeDee Lamb with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Texans are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point try good by Gano. And the lead grows to 10-0.
Texans 10, Vikings nothing.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He's got McBride here over the middle. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
It is fun to watch the big man work the middle of the field. How about that post route there? Did an excellent job of getting his head around to look the football in and gain significant yardage.
First and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. On play action, it's Rodgers. Going right side here, and that's complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
You always worry about those smaller receivers running through that gnarly patch of land in the middle of the field. But he did a really nice job there holding on to the football and protected himself as best he could while completing the play.
Rodgers again now. This is Smith with a grab. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter.
First and 10 at the 28-yard line.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Devontae Smith, 28 yards. And the Vikings are on the board here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And leading 10-7, and they may just want to get this to the locker room. That is caught. Michael Pittman with it. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
Here we go.
On first and 10, Joe Burrow. Throw left side complete to Chase. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. Looking to throw again on second down. Burrow. And he'll go right back to Chase. That's caught again. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. He hit his first, now this from 43. Gano's kick is good, but now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback.
Gun. 11 MT, take. 11 MT, take.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. Taken down at the 42.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. Well, let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll keep it on the ground. Knox. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on 1st down.
But now they're in a spot that every team tells us when we have our production meetings they don't want to be in 3rd and long. And that's because those back-to-back running plays just didn't accomplish a whole lot.
On 3rd down, Burrow. Open man Lamb. It's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. He was over 100 receiving last week. He's over 100 now this week, as he's got a 1st down as well. Burrow bats it forward. It's a jet sweep. Oh, what a move.
And a lot of times, these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Here we go, here we go.
On 2nd down and 4, Burrow. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Pittman. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them. Especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up. Burrow will throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And the Texans are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. They'll keep it on the ground. Knox, and he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Now it's Burrow. And this is going to be incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
Gano's kick is good, and now it's a two-score game at 9, 16-7. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
They run once more with Dillon. Yeah, he'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32. He really hasn't been able to get on track running the football, averaging less than 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, I think that they're going to enjoy the film session because all the defenders are filling their proper gaps on just about every play. And you know what they always say for a defensive coach? When I click off this film, I better see 11 jerseys in the picture going after the ball carrier.
He's got it complete to Tolbert. And he will have a Vikings first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a second and short. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. Rodgers to throw once more. Now swing pass for Dillon. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
They certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And the return across midfield into the 46-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
On 2, ready? 11, Palmer.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeout. With 2 remaining, we'll be back after this.
Let's get set. 11, mighty. 11, mighty.
On first down, Knox shifts past him at the 45. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. Off the play fake, here's Burrow. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. A 15-point game now. You make the extra point, and that means on the other side you need 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions. That's a pretty tall order here in the fourth quarter.
Agreed, because they really needed to come up with a stop there, and even if it was just to hold them to a field goal. Now they need to plot the lucky horseshoe because they've got to get an onside kick. And we've seen nowadays those are incredibly difficult to come by.
And not to mention they got to get the touchdown and a 2-point conversion first. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, right now, they're in a bit of a tough spot here, CD. You're trailing by double digits. Remember the last time. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Now, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. Now it's Burrow. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Jamar Chase. He has career touchdown number 78, tying it with both Eddie George and Frank Gifford on the all-time list. And the Texans have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. Gano the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 23. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2. Nick Bosa giving him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
You can almost see all the defenders rubbing their hands together with glee because we all know they relish the chance to bring down a quarterback of his caliber. Anyone who brings him down has plenty to talk about. Not just a sack, but a big win built on the efforts of this defense.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. From their own 2, Charles, they opted to throw it instead of run it. We saw the outcome.
And I think what a lot of teams count on is defenses to stack the line of scrimmage, trying to force a safety or force a turnover there. But if you've got a good defensive front, you just allow them to play the run, and everyone else stays ready, and they picked that one off.
And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. It'll go as a loss on the play, not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal.
11.
And they'll run again. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. You know they'd love nothing more than to get a 3-and-out here after having the interception.
And it also tells you a little bit about how they feel about their leader, right? Their quarterback throws an interception in the previous series. They're trying to help him out here with a big stand.
Here we go.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. They'll keep it on the ground. Knox. Oh, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. Gano's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately, not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3, and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead. In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And Charles, now look out, Rodgers lost the football, and the Texans scoop it. And he's got his guys set up great now. 1st and goal, and the Pigs get at the 7-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble's going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th, it doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week, because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They come with a jet sweep here as Burrow just taps that forward. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Gano now to add the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
Texans 40, Vikings 7.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to get a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 50-yard line.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
This has obviously been a bad loss, but one of the few things they can still do is try and throw the ball all the way to the end zone and get some points on the board so they're not shut out over the final 2 quarters of this game.
Now Rodgers got to have this one. And my goodness, another interception. Jordan Brooks with it. And the Texans are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the 4th quarter.
Here we go.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
Here we go, here we go.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Texans, they are now 2 wins away from a perfect regular season as they run their mark to 15-0 on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, it's a bad time of year to take a loss like this as they drop to 10-5. And they'll have a chance of redemption next week at home against the Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah. So that style not for you, but it's for me.
Greenfield's finest. Boss.
Yeah.
DJ Drama.
Never let a wishbone grow where backbone should. Belly been taking the dash on wood. 10 payments, the back end good. Got sense, but they act no good. Shot through the lot of the starstruck. Hop in the ride and we took in the truck, couple in the truck, and they all. They might say what's up when they see me around the city, but really no reason to talk much. Dinner at Nice Guy, but no nice guys here. I'm toe tagging, no Bilbo Baggins, y'all coming up short. Take a recess. This a heat check. Yeah. Shorty let me quick as a clear with a pre-check. It's lifestyle not for you, but it's for me. Seen it myself for years. The vision is mine alone. Just me, myself, no peers.